What's going on, guys? I'm Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. I'm here with Coach Fred and my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let you guys know that Twin P is official liquor, the Common Man Podcast. Bottoms up, Twin P, best. Gotta drink some more.
What's up? What's up? What's up? As we welcome everybody in to another edition of the Common Man Podcast, Drive at 5 with me, your boy, your host, Coach Fred, man. We got a good show on for you guys tonight as we got our resident doctor, Fred Kinsey, who will be in as well. And then we have my guy from Albany State, Matt B. Coach Brown, co-defensive coordinator for Albany State University. And we're going to talk a little ball with him, and then we're going to talk a little ball also, a little healthcare with our resident doctor as we wait on him to come in as he was working midnight shift last night. So I got to keep checking to make sure he's in. Once he gets in, we'll bring him up, and we'll get right to it. In the meantime, in between time, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have any guests that you would like to see from any HBCU program, drop it in there, let us know. But as they say on All the Smoke, you got to help us get them, because a lot of times guys get paranoid, don't want to come on, don't want to talk. And, we just talking ball. We ain't into all the X and O's and the schemes and all that. We just talking ball, talking life, talking football, talking health, just trying to keep everybody up to date with what's going on and, bring light to the HBCU sector. Before we get started, though, as we always do, and I can't do it right now, but as we always do, we toast to have a great show with our sponsor, Twin P Whiskey. Want to thank those guys again. Can't thank those guys enough. And we got a couple more sponsors that's coming on, man. So things are looking up. It's taking off. Football season is here in full effect. That's what we've all been waiting on. We got it. It's time to go with it right now. You know what it is, man. Once that first game hits, it's like everything else just kind of rolls downhill. But before we get into it, we got to talk about it. You know what I mean? We got to talk about it, and that's what it is. The month. The month is, as I'm trying to pull it up, I'm sorry, but the month is Suicide Prevention Month. Suicide Prevention Month. So we want to make sure that we're talking to our people, that we are engaging with our folks, man. If something seems off with somebody that we know is normally not off, somebody that we know is normally engaged, somebody that we know is normally out and about, or somebody that we know is usually a different way than what we're seeing here. Don't ignore the signs. Don't just assume that everybody's all right. You know what I mean? Let's make sure that we talk to them. Let's make sure that we ask questions. Asking questions don't mean we're prying. Asking questions don't mean we're being nosy. Asking questions is that we're trying to be concerned in the situation. We want to make sure that we're looking after our people beforehand, and not one of those situations of where we're kind of like, man, if I should have, share a quick story while we're waiting on Doc and Coach Brown to get in. Former player of mine, and won't say his name, but maybe we'll be able to get his mother on at some point this month. Made it to the top of what it is he wanted to do, which was play professional football. And in the midst of doing that, took some injuries, some things kind of, I guess became overwhelming for him. And, one of the things that up until here recently, was really tough for me to deal with was because the day that he actually committed the act, he called me, and I wasn't able to get to the phone, and I wasn't able, to call him back, of course, but I wasn't able to get to the phone. And it was always that what if for me for a long time. It was that what if I had answered the phone that day, that morning when he called. Would I have been able to say something, or would he have said something to me that would have triggered me to say something that could have led to, him still being here with us today? So I don't want anybody to ever have to go into that situation or feel like they're in that situation uh, of wondering what if. So if something's off a little bit, let's just make sure we check in and kind of go uh, to the ends to make sure that our people are good. And, that way it may only be just a simple phone call. Hey man, you good? Well, and that may lead to something else that opens up, that unlocks the situation of what we got going on, to where we can help somebody. And that's all that's all we want to be, is we want to be a help. We want to become a blessing to others. And if we can help someone out of a rut, let's do it. That's what it's all about, right? So again, let's make sure that we're talking to our people, and make sure that we're trying to help our people in the best way possible, as far as it goes, because this is, as we say, this is Suicide Prevention Month. So let's just make sure that we're looking out for our people. All right. And with no further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. We'll bring up Coach Brown, and then when resident Dr. Kinsey get in, the show's doctor, when he gets in, we'll bring him up, and we'll go from there. But before I bring him in, man, I want to make sure that with everybody's liking, subscribing, sharing the page, uh, the show. We got a good one, a young man that I've watched from a player to a GA to a position coach to now being the co-defense coordinator at Albany State University, D2 program that, has taken off, and they are really, really rolling. So at this point, with no further ado, let's stand and cheer and bring my guy, Matt B, to the stage.
Coach Fred, what's
Matt B,
up, man? How
Coach
you doing?
Brown. What's going on,
What's
Coach
up,
Brown? How
Coach?
you
How you
living?
doing?
I'm good, man. How you
I'm
doing?
good. Coach. I'm good. I can't complain about nothing, Coach. You just know the day-to-day grind we putting in.
Ain't no doubt, man. How's my sound? Can you hear me? Everything's good?
Oh yeah, we good, Coach.
Good, man. Tell the people, man. Matt Brown, man. Introduce yourself, brother.
How everybody doing today? First of all, Coach, I appreciate you for bringing me on. I'm Matt Brown. I currently serve as the co-defensive coordinator and the linebacker coach here at Albany State.
Albany State. Where you
Yes,
from,
sir.
Matt? Tell the people where you from, bro.
I'm from the big city of Fayette, Mississippi, population of about 1,400. I watched your podcast last week, Coach, and you had Coach Falsman on, and he called Woodville the big city. He know better than that now, Coach.
Oh my.
He know better than that.
Oh my. Okay. Okay. Hey, Matt, real quick, man, I'm gonna add the resident doctor in, man, and then we're gonna get back to your story, your interview. But maybe the resident doctor can help a few kids there at Albany State, man, and then we'll keep it moving. All right.
Most definitely.
As we bring to the stage the show's doctor. The show's doctor. My doctor, your doctor, everybody's doctor. Dr. Fred Kinsey, man, how you doing?
I'm blessed and favored, my brother. I can't complain. How you doing?
Good, man. I know you pulled a rough one last night at the ER.
Oh yeah.
I hope it was a quiet night for you.
No such thing.
No such thing.
No such thing.
No such thing, man. Doc, man, I want to have you on for a little bit, just kind of talk real quick. We may have some young parents in here, some parents and some younger kids in here. And as football season is kicking off, we wanted to make sure that we kind of gave viewpoints to help those parents out, different aspects of football. And we wanted to start this month off with concussion protocol as it pertains to I would say our little league kids up to even our high school kids. And, we as college coaches, we are afforded the the luxury of having trainers and team doctors. But for those that may not have them full time, little league, junior high, and some high school programs, I guess all high school programs have trainers on the sideline. But if a little kid has been diagnosed with a concussion, for a parent taking that kid home, what are some of the things that they can do to kind of make sure they're monitoring their child and it's getting, they're handling that situation where it needs to be handled?
The biggest thing is the follow up. A lot of times when kids get hurt, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to bring them to the emergency room, get us to check them out. And that's very, very important. If you aren't seen on the sideline by a physician or by someone who is in sports medicine that understands kind of how concussions work, and to also be sure that you're only working with the concussion. You'd be surprised how many times kids come in for a concussion workup, and then adrenaline on the sideline, they don't tell you that their pinky is also hurting, or that their clavicle is also hurting, or that their knee is also hurting when they went down for that hit. And then there's so many times where they come in for a concussion, that's all they wrote. But while you're doing your physical exam, you also find out that they got a dislocated finger, or they got a broken toe, or they got a fractured distal clavicle. So getting that exam completed is important by someone who knows medicine. That's the most important thing. Next important thing is, getting that diagnosis. Concussion is a clinical diagnosis. There's not a blood test that says, yeah, you did have a concussion. No, you didn't have a concussion. It's all clinical based on the events that happened at the scene. So having someone who actually witnessed the event is important. A lot of times we will get parents that bring the children in, but they weren't at the practice, or we'll get someone that brings the person in that didn't actually see the event happening. So having someone who actually witnessed the event is very important for a physician, because it can give us details that tell us, well, should I do a CT scan of his head? Should I do a CT scan of his neck? Should I do this? Should I do that? Those things are very important when you look at how exactly the actual contact happened. So we depend on that tremendously. History is the most important part of taking care of a patient. The next thing is the follow-up. Once you leave the ER, you get that diagnosis of concussion. What happens next? Hopefully you have some type of sports medicine or some type of athletic trainer, but like you said, the ones who don't, and the smaller things, you can actually, there's a couple different protocols you can almost just Google and look up, and they kind of walk you through what to look for and what not to look for. But the things that you're looking for that night, you want to make sure that they're not having any confusion. That's one of our biggest kind of telltales that they probably need to come back to the hospital. Ask them basic questions. Who's the president? Who's your principal? Who's your teacher? Do you recognize that person over there? That's dad. What's his birthday? Making sure that they don't have any significant confusion right after the event. Making sure that they don't have any significant kind of like nausea or vomiting. You don't want to send someone home and then they spend the entire night at home vomiting into a bag. We want to make sure we treat these kind of symptoms as much as possible. Make sure that they are very open about it. If anything changes, let us know. So if they start feeling neck pain, or they start feeling back pain, they start feeling pains they didn't feel when the adrenaline was still going, because that may be a sign they need to be reevaluated for a secondary injury on top of what they had for the concussion. So those are kind of like the big things that I tell parents when they leave the emergency room. Another thing is avoiding bright lights for at least 24, 48 hours until they're seen the second time by their provider. Bright lights and screen time. I tell people, one of the biggest, when I say that about bright lights and screen time, they say, well, I can't use my phone. You can. Luckily now, the phones have an option to take the screen brightness all the way down. And I tell them, keep that screen brightness as low as possible, because we know from research and such that bright lights and screen time during an acute injury of a concussion can make the recovery much, much, much longer. Okay, so in that first 48, 72 hours, we want to decrease as much bright light, decrease loud noises, decrease screen time as much as possible because we know that's going to help get them back into sports faster with a decreased chance of having this linger for a lot longer. Beyond that is getting them in with someone. If they're, at 42, 72 hours, if they're completely symptom free, no headaches, no nausea, not complaining of any neck pain, not complaining of anything else that's deathly concerning. The next thing is the kind of the return to play protocol. So that something that's easily Googleable that you can look up. But it's a thing of kind of doing some cognitive resting. That's kind of starts at hour 1. Next thing is doing light exercises. So you can't go from concussion where you got your head wrung and then go right back into full contact sports the next day. That's not good for the brain. The brain needs to heal just like any other part of the body. If you pull an Achilles and you have a horrible Achilles injury, you don't tell that person go run some wind splints the next day. That's just not how that healing process works. And it's the same thing for the brain. If you get a concussion, it takes a little time for that brain to heal. And if you get a second concussion before that first one is completely healed, it can permanently cause issues for the child. So you want to make sure that we're creating as much space between the potential for a second injury as possible. And then, it's kind of a ramp itself up. Once that cognitive rest period you feel like is reached, you kind of get some light exercise, kind of doing some non-contact training, things you can do without the potential of, getting that bell rung, and then slow progression into a full contact practice, and then return to play. But they have some pretty good protocols out there that you can actually, look up that are, and I can send you some of those you can post on the feed after this show is done.
Okay, that works. And that's for all parents. Like I said, I know us on this level. Before we start play, there's a test that you have to take, and then you have to pass that test after if you receive a concussion diagnosis before you can return to doing anything. So I know Little League probably don't have that. I know some high schools probably don't have that capability. So we just wanted to make sure that we give that information with the start of football season. Again, Doc, I thank you for just giving me a couple minutes, as I know you're getting ready to go back to that madhouse that we call the ER. And did I hear
off tonight? I'm done. So
off tonight. Okay, that's good business. That's good business.
I don't go
good
back
business.
until I'm coming to the Alcorn game in Huntsville. My wife is from Huntsville, so we packing the kids up and we bringing them to Alabama. We're gonna barbecue and kick it and kind of hang out and hopefully get us a big old Braves win.
Ain't no doubt about it. And I need you to do some cognitive testing, reduce your screen time, and get yourself together before the season starts, because I know you're a Cowboy fan, and everything you diagnose that comes back to being a Cowboy fan. So yeah,
Hey.
don't get that stuff together now, Doc, so you'll be okay. We don't want you to have any setbacks.
What I can tell you is that statistically, you're a statistics man, right? You got to watch statistics. Statistically, Dak has beat the Eagles 4 out of the 5 times they played them on the first game of the season since he's been a Cowboys quarterback. So I'm feeling pretty good about tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens.
This our year. Go ahead and say it. This our year.
This our year. We about to
Hey,
take
Doc,
it in.
man. I appreciate you, brother, and I'll see you this weekend, man. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Appreciate you.
You too. Yes, sir. Man, again, man, Dr. Fred got on. He was going to lead the show. Hope you got some information that'll be helpful. Again, we'll get that information from him, get it posted for parents of younger kids that may not have access to trainers at practices and things like that. So, again, we want to keep moving it forward for the community, for all of football. But right now, we're back to my guy, Matt Brown, co-defensive coordinator, Albany State. Man, last week, big win. Talk about it.
It was a good one, Coach. Talking about a team who came on our home turf last year and they beat us first game. The guys played real well, real hard, just because of that. It was always in their mind. However, I can't go too in detail because Coach Gray, he have a 24-hour rule. So 24 hours after that game over, we get them corrections in. We own strictly to that next week. So right now, because we so locked in on Kentucky State first conference game, we just ready to get to Saturday.
The Thoroughbreds.
The Thoroughbreds, yes, sir.
Where y'all got that game at there, Matt?
In Kentucky, Coach, 10-hour butt ride.
Ooh, yes, sir. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Hey, man, this show, man, again, we talk football. We talk, assistants, man. Just, how did you get going in the sport, man? And what brought you to the coaching side of it?
Got you. So, first shout out to mom and pops, right? Just growing up, they wanted me in sports, all their kids, because they knew that was the way to go. So first shout out to them. And what got me into coaching was really, I always was a student of the game. I always wanted to know the why. Not trying to question my coach, but coach, why are we doing this? What do you see that a player need to see so I can understand it better? And one of my exit meeting, Coach Kai Stewart, he's currently at Illinois State. He was just asking me, have I ever thought about getting into coaching? And honestly, I haven't. But when he mentioned it from then on, that's the only thing that I could think of. And I kind of knew it was for me. So at that point, that's when I transitioned to starting at Alcorn, being a GA with a great staff. You was on a part of it, Coach Sid Thornton, Coach McNair, great staff to learn up under. So that's what really got me going into it and starting it.
And from there, man, you talked about it. Shout out to Kai. That's my guy.
Yeah.
What up, Kai? Holla at me, man. Come holla at me, Kai. But coming from a small town, man, Fayette, big city.
Big city.
Big city. At no point at that time were you thinking the coaching route?
No, sir. Honestly, no, sir. Not until I actually got into college. And I had that convo with Coach Stewart, and he kind of told me his journey. And his journey kind of led me towards, coaching. And I thank him for that because now it got me here where I am today.
So you spent some time here as a player and as a coach here at Alcorn State University. Was a part of a heck of a run that'll probably never be duplicated again, man. I think you came in 16?
16, yep.
And 16, and every year you were here, except for maybe your last year. Yep. You were either winning it or playing for it in the championship. So, a heck of a run. At that point, is that when you really started to hone in and get serious about wanting to do this as a profession?
Most definitely. That is what led to it. And just understanding, coming under the coaches like yourself, Coach Thornton, Coach Mack, Coach Thomas, just seeing those guys and how they was all into it and how they loved it, it kind of led me that way and steered me in that direction. And I'm just so thankful for every coach that poured into me during this journey.
Hey, man, and that's what it's about. And to see you and to know where you came from, player, undersized D lineman, flipped the switch, was able to let it go as a player, but transition into coaching, man, is really exciting to see you and your journey. If you could just talk a little bit about, we don't want to get Coach Gray, who was supposed to come on the show, Coach Gray. We don't want to get him ruffled just, too much. But if you could talk about your time there and talk a little bit about Albany State football for those that may not know about Albany State football, man. Just, pull us behind the curtain just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. First thing first, I want to give a shout out to our AD Christine Kelly, because she do a great job. Before she took this job, she was at Vanderbilt. So all she talk about is the experience, and all she do is make sure all of her athletes or coaches have a great experience. I'm talking about gear. We've been to New York twice. We played in New York twice. We was able to play in MetLife Stadium. Like, she does a great job with what she do. So Albany State is going in a great direction. Next is Coach Gray. You know what I'm saying? We worked together at Alcorn. So when he got the job, I was able to come along with him. right? It was hard for me to leave Alcorn because that was home. Like you said, been there, 7 years? I think we've been to 6 championships, won 4, 2 Celebration Bowls, all that good stuff. So it was tough. But when I had the opportunity to be a co-defensive coordinator at 25 years old, I couldn't turn that down. And ever since I've been here, it's been love. Albany State is going in great directions under Quinn Gray. I'm talking about a great head football coach, a great offensive mind, and he make it a great environment for you to work for him. I mean, family always in the building. I got 2 little daughters. He always let me bring them around. So it's just a home environment here at Albany State, much like Alcorn.
And when you're talking about Albany State, man, what's a typical practice day for y'all?
Typical practice day?
Yeah.
Well, we hit the ground running early, Coach. So we team meet at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we transition from practice 6 to about 8:15. Right. Then we come back as coaches. We meet, watch the film. The kids have a block schedule from 10 to 5. That's when they do their schoolwork. Then we'll get back with them at 5 and we'll meet. They'll pump some iron in the weight room, and that's the typical day for us. We'll be out the office about 6, 7.
So I hear you got one of my good friends still working with you. My guy, he's an encyclopedia. Damon French, man. How's that been, man? How's that been?
You know French. You know how he is.
French dog.
Yeah. Football, been coaching 30, 40 years. So if you need an answer, he know it. Right? He know it. And most definitely, he's just a funny guy to be around. I'm talking about his personality is great. Always gonna make you laugh. Right? We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He got you laughing at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he gonna get that sleepiness about you.
So you get there, man, y'all first year, and you get a chance to basically last week of the season, you get a chance to get into the championship game.
Yep.
And you guys versus basically come up against the staff that's now at South Carolina State. Speak to that experience, facing Coach Berry and his guys, and then seeing that jump that they made. What impact did that have on you guys there as a staff at Albany State?
What they did was definitely, big time for one, young coaches like me. You talking about Jonathan Williams, one of his young OC. He was with him at Benedict. Then he transitioned to be his offensive coordinator at South Carolina State. So if you look at stuff like that, for me personally, that was motivation to me. And to be able to go against them guys in year one, it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun because actually, during the run at Alcorn, he was the OC at Southern. And it was kind of crazy because he did a lot of similar stuff. So to actually get a chance for me to game plan against it and try to, go up against him was kind of cool. So most definitely big shout out to them. And it was motivational. And they're doing great things at South Carolina State. And hopefully that's the jump that I can make one day. So I look up to coaches like that in this profession.
So when you guys are there, Matt, and like I said, we're talking about it, and a lot of people may not know the tradition or the ways of Albany State. When you talk Albany State, man, who's your rival?
They're gonna get on me about saying his name. Fort Valley State, we call him Peach County. But that school down the street, Peach County, Fort Valley State University.
So coming from the SWAC, heading to the SIAC there, I know there's a difference, but what's the biggest difference and what's the biggest similarity?
I really can't just pinpoint a big difference, Coach, because it's so many similarities. The one difference I would say is the crowd, right? We rolled into Jackson one year with 60,000, right? But we rolled into Peach County here and it's 20, right? But you still feel the same atmosphere because the stands are packed. Week to week in the SWAC, it's a battle. Every week. You can't overlook no opponent in the SWAC. And it's the same in the SIAC because there's some tough teams in this league. There's some great coaches, and there's a lot of great ball players. It's football is football. It's trickle down. We get Division I transfers too. So it's not just when you think of SIAC, it's not a little football conference. Actually, the SIAC school was able to beat a SWAC school. And we play a SWAC school next week, so hopefully we can beat a SWAC school. So that's the coach. It's really a lot of similarities. We actually going against Alcorn transfer this weekend, a receiver that just left Alcorn. So it's a lot of good players in this league, the same way it is in the SWAC. It's a lot of good coaching in this league, the same way it is in the SWAC. So it's a lot of similarities between the two.
And you know, when we talk about that, the smallness, or however you want to say, with the SIAC, because I was there one year with a program that's no longer around, in Stillman College. So I know how you move around. So I know that trip that you're about to make to Kentucky State there. So I fully understand that part of it. When you talk about just being there campus-wise, what people may not know, what does Albany State campus-wise, what is that like? Not that you have a lot of time to spend on campus, but the time that you have, what is that like? What is Albany State like?
Lovely. Albany State enrollment is actually bigger than Alcorn. There's a lot of kids that go to Albany State. If you're talking about athletic-wise, well, let me start first. Albany State have two campuses. We have an East Campus and a West Campus. They're about 10, 15 minutes apart. So two gyms, two whirlpools, right? Albany State have a lot to offer. Brand new blue turf field. We spent, I think, over 1.3 million on brand new weight room. I'm talking about state of the art. I put it against anybody in HBCU football, our weight room. So it's a lot to offer here, and it's a great university. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And you know, before I let you get out of here, one of the things that I wanted to, that I had jotted down, that I wanted to see, to actually get your answer, you know, and pull people behind the curtain a little bit more into you, being a DC at 26,
Yep.
and basically walking into a new program. You established here at Alcorn, so to speak, because you went from player to GA to coach.
Right.
Now you leave and you go to a new program, and you're the young guy. You basically look like them, so to speak.
Yep.
What was that like to get them to buy into what you were bringing to the table?
Right. So most definitely, first thing kids want to buy into is winning. They don't care how old the coach is. They want to know, Coach, how can you help me get to the next level? Coach, how can you help me be a better man in the community, a better a life figure, you know, a father figure, whatever they need to be. So when I got here, the age never was the problem, right? I was coaching at 25, and I had somebody in the room, fifth year senior, that was 24, right? So that never was. And my biggest sell point was, if you want to go to the NFL, you're gonna be older than a lot of your coaches. So respect, that's just something that you earn. You don't have to demand. So I never forced respect. It just was earned, because once I came in, we hit the ground rolling. First off, they looked me up. When I got here, they knew about where I was coming from, right? They knew about, oh, coach, you coached Claudin Cherloos in 21. He in the NFL. Chris Blair in the NFL. So they knew about that. So their main thing was, I'm an HBCU player. Coach, can you coach me to get on their level, right? Because that's a lot of the dream that's in the room. So that's just what it was, coaching. It wasn't hard for me to start coaching young, because this is the same system. The same thing Alcorn doing now, we're doing here. It's no different. It's hard when you done won, like we said, 7. You've been in all these championships. There's no way you're gonna throw away the system. You know, the system is still the system. So that's it, coach. That's how it transpired.
And before I get out, man, you brought something up, and I want to touch on it. When you talked about your AD, and you know, the experiences that she's trying to create for everybody in the department, how much do you see her on a day-to-day?
All day, every day. I probably can walk down the hall right now, coach, and she in there. All right. She She show love, coach. You know, a lot of places you will be, you don't see the AD, right? Especially for the players. She have what she called the open door policy. She makes sure every time every new semester, the kids gonna get 2 shirts. Every student athlete gonna get 2 shirts. So she's always around. A great person, great human being. And that's just somebody that anybody would love being around.
So that leads me to my next question was, how is that? Because I had heard she's really hands-on.
Yep.
How is that for you guys in the building, handling that? Because again, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's fine. But to always have someone that's there rooting you on, cheering you on, whether you're wrong or right, uh, you know, how was that for the kids to deal with? Not the adults, but
Right.
the kids. How did the players handle that?
Oh, coach, they love it. And the reason because I just mentioned how we on the field at 6:00 in the morning. 2 or 3 out of 5 of the days she there, right? They'll be in the weight room lifting. She on the other side lifting, right? So that's just something that the kids love because it's not just saying that I'm there for you, but you never see me. With her, it's saying I don't even have to say that I'm there because you're gonna feel that I'm there, right? So the kids love her. The kids always posting on social media. They having a good time with her. You know, they'll do the little boots on the ground, dance with her, because they just love her. And it kind of was different from me because I never saw an athletic director and a player's connection be so well. But it's a lovely feeling.
It was a good deal, man. You got the thoroughbreds this week.
Yep.
And who do you follow after? We don't look ahead, but who you have after that?
We play FAMU next weekend.
So you go down to Tally.
Yep.
2 weeks from now, and then you get into conference play. Who's your first conference game?
Our first conference game is actually Kentucky State this week, and then we'll go out of conference to play FAM. We'll have a bye week after that, and then we'll go deep off in the conference. We'll play Allen. We'll be in the conference from there on out. Got
you. Man, I know you're in the middle of it. You got things to do. You know how it is. I know how it is. But if anybody that's listening, that's replaying this thing, man, wants to follow you, wants to follow Albany State football, man, how can they do it? This is your floor right now.
Got you. So on Instagram, first starting off with the school, because I'm always promote my school first. Albany State FB Golden Rams. That's our Instagram page. Please go follow it. Our production team does a great job of just day-to-day media, practice, games, getting on the bus, everything, weight room. You can see it all. You got all access with that. Second, I go to me, Instagram, IAM_MJB. And then on Twitter, I'm Coach Matt B _. You can find me on those 2 platforms.
Hey, man, with that being said, brother, wish you much luck. You know, it's always love from over here. And, you know, go finish strong, man. Do your thing. And tell French Dog I said what up. Tell your head man I'm still waiting on him. And
he coming, Coach. He coming.
All right, but tell him I'm still waiting on him. And hit me up, man. Stay in contact, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy. And best of luck.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Coach. Go Rams.
Yes, sir. Man, great show. Hope you guys got something from it, man, with Dr. Kinsey, with the concussion protocol. Hope you learned just a little bit about Coach Matt B, a little bit about Albany State football. And, you know, again, we getting back to it every Wednesday, every Friday. We'll be back again this Friday with the Hotel Live with Coach Fred, Common Man. And we're going to get into it, man. We're not shying away from it. You know, we're in season. We're in the thick of it. And we're going to continue to do what we do. And to everybody out there, man, again, it's Suicide Prevention Month. Make sure you're checking on your people. Make sure you talk on your people. And if you're one of the people that need to be talked to, man, if you need somebody to talk to, get help. Nothing's too heavy. Nothing's too big to make sure you get straightened out. All right, we want to make sure that we are all here and in good health, strength, and with good mind. All right. So again, if it gets a little hectic, you know the drill, man. If it gets a little hectic, starts going all over the place, hey, relax, deep breath, keep it all on the table. Until then, see you Friday.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. This is my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, everyone? This is our new cigar line. It's called Twin P. It also matches well with our bourbon whiskey. It's called Twin P as well. So if you like to smoke cigars and like to drink whiskey, I advise you get both.